You can't claim to have undiagnosed ADHD. I've been seeing this lately on TikTok.
I'm a psychologist and I strongly disagree with this, and I'm going to tell you why. Firstly, I think this idea that somebody can't claim to have ADHD or autism without a professional diagnosis is somewhat skewed and also really reeks of privilege. I think that, firstly, somebody choosing to do that does not harm anybody. By choosing to self identify doesn't mean that somebody's going to be able to access funding or support or accommodations. So, why does it bother people so much? But further to that, I think it misses the whole point that the reason people choose to self identify is because the lack of accessibility to getting formal identification or formal diagnosis. So, we need to think about the fact that, firstly, wait lists are crazy long. Secondly, you need to be able to afford the assessment, and assessments can cost thousands of dollars. I know this as a provider of assessments, and unfortunately, even as a provider, it's really hard to work around those costs given how much time go into providing assessments. Besides just the 5 hours minimum of face to face time I do with the client, I'm also then doing at least 15 hours outside of that for all the other components that go into providing a formal psychological assessment, diagnosis, report, etc. So it is a timely and costly process that not every client has the ability to fund. But then think about the additional barrier that some clients face when they do choose or they are able to get thousands of dollars together, wait a very long time, they get to an assessment and they're told, sorry, you couldn't possibly have ADHD because you got through university, or you couldn't possibly be autistic because you have a social life. This is the unfortunate reality for many people. For many people I personally know who have gone through the process of trying to get assessed. And so, again, there are so many reasons why people have chosen to just self identify, which harms nobody. And if that is their choice, it doesn't, again, it doesn't harm anybody. So be it. I think that, of course, if somebody was needing to get formal supports and a formal diagnosis, and yes, absolutely, go to a professional and hopefully find one that's skilled enough to understand internalized presentations. But I completely understand why people, firstly, are unable to access assessments or are choosing to do this. And for those that don't get it, again, I really think that it speaks to that privilege and not understanding what a privilege it is to be able to afford to actually go and get an assessment and to be able to access one in the first place.